Activities of the 90th anniversary of Yoruba Tennis Club, after a 2-day break to observe the Eid al-Kabir holiday, resumed on Wednesday, 14th September 2016, with visits to charity homes and orphanages in the Lekki axis of Lagos Island and Surulere area on the mainland. As is the practice in Yoruba Tennis Club, members led by the chairman, Brother Ayodele Martins, the vice chairman, Professor Adetokunbo Fabanwo, and trustees paid anniversary visits to these homes. Here, they empathized with them with encouraging words and made presentations of cash and assortment of materials for the continued upkeep of the inmates. Activities of the day ended with the Elders' Day, which, as the name suggests, is a special day set aside to honor the elders of Yoruba Tennis Club for the role they played over the years in laying a very solid foundation on which the club has existed in the last 90 years. Thursday, 15 September 2016, which was the day Yoruba Tennis Club was established 90 years ago, was celebrated in a significant way to signpost the importance of the day to the entire world. The main features of the day was the unveiling of the newly refurbished lawn tennis courts of the club and the foundation laying of the proposed sports gallery, which will incorporate the spectator stand, dressing room, and conveniences for tennis players. The exercise was performed by the major sponsor of the project, Sir Kesintin Adebutu CON, after the chairman of the club, Brother Ayodele Martins, had formally welcomed everyone to the event.
Praise to the glory of God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Amen. Anniversary of the Yoruba Tennis Club on Thursday, 15 September 2016. Signed Brother Ayodele Martins, Chairman. Of talents in the game of lawn tennis, my foundation, the Kesintin Adebukola Adebutu, has decided to sponsor the annual lawn tennis competition organized among secondary schools in Lagos State.
There was also a novelty lawn tennis match which featured members of the Island Club and Yoruba Tennis Club. However, the highlight of the event of the day was the finals of the secondary school lawn tennis competition. In the evening of the same day was the Yoruba Tennis Club 90th anniversary cocktail and the launching of Volume 3 of History of Yoruba Tennis Club. The Volume 3 of the History of Yoruba Tennis Club is a synergy of efforts by the Board of Trustees and members of the History Committee of the club under the chairmanship of Dr. Yemisi Kuforiji, a member of over 42 years standing, who served as the chairman of the club between the year 2002 to 2004. The royal father of the day at that event was the Anyogbore of Ikorodu, His Royal Majesty Oba Kabiru Shotobi who was accompanied by his wife, while the special guest of honor was Sir Kasintin Adebukola Adebutu, CON. The event began with the chairman of Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Ayodele Martin, setting the tone with a detailed background of how the journey to the making of the writing of the history of Yoruba Tennis Club started.
I feel extremely honored, proud, and privileged not only to be writing this goodwill message, but also by the special grace of Almighty God to be the one carrying the mantle of leading our great club as its chairman as we celebrate 90 years of a momentous beginning, a great heritage, a glorious past, and immensely bright future.
Before he launched the volume 3 of the history book of Yoruba Tennis Club, Sir Kasintin Adebukola Adebutu addressed the gathering, in which he heartily congratulated members of the club on the 90th anniversary of the club and commended the founding fathers of the club for envisioning such idea that celebrates the rich culture and heritage of the Yoruba Tennis Club. Sir Kasintin Adebutu said that his love for the club stems from his passion for sports, in which today his foundation, the Kasintin Adebukola Adebutu Foundation, CAF, has been sponsoring under 20 and under 18 football competitions in both Lagos and Ogun states. Sir Kasintin Adebutu has just added the sponsorship of the annual Yoruba Tennis Club lawn tennis competition among secondary school students, supported by the chairman, vice chairman of Yoruba Tennis Club, and the royal father of the day, His Royal Majesty Oba Kabiru Shotobi, and his wife. Sir Kasintin Adebutu formally launched Volume 3 of the history book of Yoruba Tennis Club.
In the name of God the Father, Amen. The Son, Amen. And the Holy Spirit. When books are launched, we all know what to do. And people don't take all the trouble to write a book for nothing. And not only that, the chairman of the club whispered to me a few minutes ago a lot of development that you have to carry out in this club. And of course, it costs money. So in my mind, this is an avenue to raise money for the club. But before I set the ball rolling, I like to emphasize for the need of members to have a copy of this book, not only to themselves, and they must also try to influence schools, libraries to have it.
Thereafter, the chairman of Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Ayodele Martins, formally proclaimed Sir Kasintin Adebutu as an honorary member of Yoruba Tennis Club, and a special plaque was presented to him by the Ayongbunre of Ekorodu, His Royal Majesty Oba Kabiru Shotobi. Dignitaries were also presented with some gift items in celebration of the 90th anniversary of Yoruba Tennis Club. The vote of thanks was proposed by the Vice Chairman of the Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Professor Tokunbo Fabanwo. Still celebrating the 90th anniversary of Yoruba Tennis Club, on behalf of the vice patrons, trustees, past chairmen, elders, brethren, and sisters of the club, the chairman of the club, Brother Ayodele Martins, hosted the nation's #2 citizen, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, GCON. He was in the club to deliver the Yoruba Tennis Club 90th Anniversary Lecture on the theme Revitalizing the Nigerian Economy, the Challenges and Opportunities. The royal father of the day was the Oba of Lagos, His Royal Majesty Oba Rilwan Akure I, CFR. Lagos State Governor Mr. Akinwumi Ambode was represented by the Deputy Governor, Dr. Mrs. Idiat Olunroti Adebule. The chairman of Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Ayodele Martins, was supported by the vice chairman, Brother Professor Tokunbo Fabangwo, and the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Alhaji Lateef Olufemi Okunu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, CON. In his welcome remarks, the chairman of Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Ayodele Martins, said the topic chosen by the vice president for the lecture, Revitalizing the Nigerian Economy, the Challenges and the Opportunities, is the closest to the hearts of virtually all Nigerians at this time, and that this will add a lot of value to the activities of the 90th anniversary of the club.
On behalf of the vice patrons, trustees, past chairmen, elders, brethren, and sisters of the club, I extend a very warm welcome to His Excellency, Mr. Yemi Osinbajo, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and all of you who have taken time out of your busy schedules to join us today. Today's 90th anniversary lecture, which Your Excellency kindly agreed to deliver, is a continuation of this tradition of holding an annual lecture on an issue of significant interest and concern to the polity. The topic, Revitalizing the Nigerian Economy, the Challenges and the Opportunities, chosen by Your Excellency, undoubtedly fits this bill and is closest to the hearts of virtually all Nigerians at this time. I am certain that both locally and internationally we will all be listening with rapt attention.
In the remarks of the Governor of Lagos State, Mr. Akinwumi Ambode, delivered by the Deputy Governor, he congratulated the Yoruba Tennis Club for keeping aloft over the years the great history and heritage of the club, to which Lagos State is proud to be eminently associated.
90 years is a major milestone in the life of an organization or even an individual that God actually gives the privilege to attain such an age. And given that significance, I would say congratulations and to every one of us who are here today to listen to the anniversary lecture and of course rejoice with this great organization. I just want to say congratulations and urge every one of us who are members and those of us who are just standby members who love the activities of the club and appreciate the contributions you are making, that we should continue to remain faithful to the dreams and aspirations of the founding fathers of this great organization.
Before he delivered the lecture, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo also spoke in glowing terms of the role played by the founding fathers of the Yoruba Tennis Club in properly positioning the interest of the Yoruba nation, of which is a proud and illustrious son himself. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo held the audience spellbound with a very articulate, well-researched lecture in which he signposted the efforts of the present administration in cushioning the effects of the recession, which has negatively affected almost all sectors of the economy. These, according to him, include shoring up of the nation's external reserves, blocking of the loopholes through which the nation's resources are being siphoned through the deregulation of the downstream sector of the nation's oil sector.
We've constituted an efficiency unit in the Federal Ministry of Finance. This is to check public spending, the spending of parastatals, spending of ministries, to ensure that the spending complies, generally speaking, with budgetary provisions and that there are no excesses. It's an ongoing process, but the efficiency unit has saved quite a lot of money so far. TSA, the Treasury Single Account. Now, the Treasury Single Account is simply a way of ensuring that government revenues are known to the government. What we've found since TSA, of course, is that a lot of money which was not in use before can now be put to use and at least can be monitored So we have a good idea of how much government earns and a good idea of how that money is being expended. So the deregulation of the downstream sector has helped a great deal. First of all, in even determining actual consumption. What is the actual consumption? We were told that actual consumption was 45 million metric tons, beg your pardon, every day. Now, 45 million metric tons every day was thought to be the realistic figure. But as it turned out, that was the figure on which subsidy was being paid. But with the introduction of the deregulation, we find that we are actually about 20 million metric tons. So almost 25 million metric tons. This is, money that was being paid for subsidy. But now, because there are no subsidies, we're down to our 20 million metric tons.
Other measures include massive investment in food importation for self-sufficiency in food production, creation of jobs to check the uncontrolled unemployment in the country. The Vice President said that over 500 young graduates will be employed as volunteer teachers who will be trained in various entrepreneurial skills. There's also the World Bank-assisted conditional cash transfers to peasant farmers to improve agriculture.
Food constitutes the next highest pressure on our foreign exchange reserve. For food importation alone, rice, wheat, tomato paste, etc., we spend about 3.5 billion every single month. That's 3.5 billion US dollars every single month. Now that's the second, highest. That puts the second highest pressure. So our rice policy, the agricultural policy, and I will talk about that in some detail later on. Rice, wheat, and all of that, those policies are meant to make us self-sufficient in those particular products. And that, of course, will reduce the pressure on importation of rice, of wheat, and tomato paste, and other such food items. And the direct creation of jobs is temporary because government cannot continue to bear the burden of direct creation of jobs. But as an emergency measure, that's one of the things that we're doing. And that's why we're implementing in this month, beginning this September with the new school year, 500,000 young graduates who will be given jobs in our volunteer teacher corps program. There will be extension workers, public health officials, etc. So we're looking at a wide variety of things in the agricultural sector. I'm charged with working with the Ministry of Agriculture. We meet every single week, looking at where they are in rice production, wheat production, and all that.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo emphasized that the federal government places a lot of premium on the ease of doing business through the provision of enabling environment in all sectors of the economy. A lot of questions were raised from the audience, to which the Vice President gave well-detailed answers. This demonstrated that the audience properly assimilated the salient points of the lecture delivered by Mr. Vice President. The catching of the 90th anniversary cake of Yoruba Chinese Club was conducted by Barrister Rotimi Edu, President, Lagos Lawn Tennis Club, with the Vice President and other dignitaries in attendance.
We just at one voice shout happy 90th anniversary. After me, 1, 2, 3. Happy 90th anniversary. Thank you very much. God bless the Yoruba Chinese Club.
The vote of thanks was delivered by the Vice Chairman of Yoruba Chinese Club, Brother Detokunbo Fabanwo. The program formally ended with the singing of the anthem of the Yoruba Chinese Club, which was anchored by the Honorable Social Secretary of the club, Brother Oba Oduwole. Saturday, 17th September 2016, witnessed the grand finale of the 2-week-long series of activities properly crafted for the 90th anniversary celebration of Yoruba Chinese Club, the oldest indigenous social and recreation club in Nigeria. Nothing was left to chances at all in terms of the planning and execution of the programs for the day. Members who turned out in very impressive numbers looked resplendent in all white traditional garbs, the anniversary cap, with the conjugal support of their spouses and friends who complimented the outing very robustly. It was indeed a day to be very proud to be a member of the Yoruba Tennis Club. The Ooni of Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi Ojaja II, accompanied by his wife Olori Wuraola, was the royal father of the day, supported by the Ayangbonre of Ikorodu land, His Royal Majesty Oba Kabiru Shotobi and his wife. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Mr. Tunji Bello. The Chairman of the Board of Trustees of Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Alhaji Lateef Olufemi Okunu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, CON, was at the head of the executive members of the club, which had the Chairman of the club, Brother Ayodele Martins, and the Vice Chairman, Brother Professor Olatokunbo Fabanwo. In his opening remarks, the Chairman of Yoruba Tennis Club, Brother Ayodele Martins, who exuded a lot of sense of accomplishment, to be one in the forefront of leading the club in the momentous 90th year anniversary celebration, thanked God and all members, especially the organizing committee, who all worked assiduously for the success of what he described as the celebration of 90 years of a momentous beginning, great heritage, glorious past, and immensely bright future. Brother Ayodele Martins thanked God for guiding his steps in the right direction since he assumed the mantle of leadership of the club in the past 16 months as the chairman. Goodwill messages were delivered by sister clubs, including the Island Club, whose chairman, Mr. Dikbo Okpeshe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, represented the club, while Lagos Lawn Tennis Club was represented by its president, Barrister Rotimi Edu, who proposed the toast of Yoruba Tennis Club at 90. The ultimate moment at the event was when the Ooni of Ife, the Imperial Majesty Oba Adeyeye Enitan Ogunwusi Ojaja II, delivered his remarks, or speech from the throne if you like, which he did in Yoruba language. He congratulated the chairman, vice patrons, trustees, past chairmen, and elders of the club for the 90th anniversary celebration of the club. Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi paid glowing tributes to the founding fathers and several past generations of members of the club for the audacious decisions they took when it mattered most to call off the bluff of the colonial masters who attempted to marginalize Nigerians even on our own soil by creating a separate club for whites only. But according to the Ooni of Ife, the shackle of oppression was shattered completely by the bravery and gallantry of 25 men whose names will be remembered eternally in the annals of the history of Yoruba Tennis Club, and in fact the Yoruba race. Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi asked all Yorubas to come together and work towards keeping aloft the great legacies of our forebearers. The vote of thanks was given by Vice Chairman of the club, Professor Tokunbo Fabanwo. This is followed by the singing of the club anthem, which was anchored by the Social Secretary of the club, Brother Oba Oduwole. Traditional dancers performed for a while before the faith band took over to put up an extremely scintillating performance that got everyone in hearty jollification and dancing, and this went on for a very long time. Memories will indeed be made of the very great epoch of the 90th year anniversary of Yoruba Tennis Club. As we congratulate all members, we also solemnly remember the many great men who have entered and passed through the portals of Yoruba Tennis Club and have completed their respective sojourns on earth and have gone to the great beyond. They will be eternally remembered for their indelible contributions to the upliftment of the heritage and history of the Yoruba Tennis Club. Greetings all!
Happy ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọba.